let's move on to aircraft now. So aircraft, we're going to use the acronym AAVIATE. So to make sure our aircraft is ready to go, the first thing, have all the ADs been complied with, right? Airworthiness directives, make sure you check that. The annual inspection. Annual inspection is every 12 calendar months. The VOR. If you're going into instrument conditions, you need to have checked the VOR within the last 30 days, right? The 100-hour inspection. 100-hour inspection is only required if for hire or flight instruction, right? We're teaching here, so 100 hours are required. 100-hour inspection. A, altimeter, really your entire pitot system needs to be checked at your local avionics shop, right? And that needs to happen every 24 calendar months. So they give you some more time on that. The same thing with the transponder. Want to make sure ATC can see you, right? So that's again 24 calendar months, a required inspection. And then last but certainly not least, your ELT needs to make sure, or you need to make sure your ELT is getting the inspection. And that's technically usually done with the annual because it is also a 12 calendar month inspection. Documents now required for the aircraft. We have our documents that we talked about. The aircraft has its own documents. The airworthiness certificate, right? The airworthiness certificate is technically good forever, but you have to make sure you keep up with all the inspections we just went over and the ADs, if any come out for your aircraft. The registration. Registration is good for 3 years. Your car is good for 2, your plane is good for 3. Uncle Sam gives you 1 extra year, but you still need to make sure you don't forget about it if you end up owning a plane or going into a plane. Check it, don't forget. The radio station license, that's only if you're going outside the country, right? So foreign operations. The operating limitations for the aircraft that you're flying. No, the POH that you're carrying in your bag does not count. It is the specific POH that is in the aircraft with the aircraft serial number attached to it. Basically, you know, the exact installed equipment and all of that stuff for the aircraft when it was manufactured is included in that POH. And then any subsequent GPSs or upgrades, they usually have their own supplements that you need to make sure are in there with the operating limitations of the aircraft. So the upgrades have their own manuals that need to be kept together. We usually keep these in the back seat pocket. And then of course, we can't stress enough the importance, you need to have done your weight and balance and make sure that you are within your weight and balance limitations. After all that's been checked, always do a very thorough pre-flight. Never be rushed when you're doing a pre-flight. Make sure that the placards, if required, are in the plane. Make sure the compass deviation card is good. If we look over here, there's your compass deviation card. We actually usually put something over here down on the right that's more clear and laminated. So you'll see that, make sure that is there. Fuel. Kind of need some fuel, right? So the only time you have too much fuel is if you're on fire. Fuel requirements, depending on if you are VFR day, VFR night, or IFR. For day during VFR, you need to your destination plus an additional 30 minutes at cruise, right? That's bare minimum. Don't push the minimum. At nighttime, plus 45 minutes. For instrument, you need to get to your destination and then to your alternate, then plus 45 more minutes after that. I like to say, no matter what it is, do at least an hour of extra fuel, right? Because there's many different factors that could affect you and you do not want to run out of fuel. And then, last but certainly not least as well, we need the appropriate amount of oil, which we do check during the pre-flight. A reminder that in this aircraft, as per the POH, we need a minimum of 5 quarts. However, for HFA policy, as part of our safety culture, we like a minimum of 6 quarts. And then the maximum is 8 for this engine.